What is going on, guys? Welcome back. I want to talk to you guys real quick about day one of Ethereum Restart launch. We just got done with day one. I'm a little bit over level 18 as of this moment. A lot of good progression was done today. A lot of good pulls. If you haven't checked out my pull video, please check it out. It was really fun. Ups and downs all over the place. Really good watch. But there were a lot of questions in my comments and in my chat while I was streaming all those 9 hours about what to do, what to level up, what to skill up. And a lot of people were telling me they were getting a lot of SSRs because there are I don't know, the rates are going crazy. Everybody's getting double SSRs, double light darks, all that type of stuff. Me, for example, I was lucky enough to get a few copies of Messiah, one copy of Mio. I just got Heinrich off of just lucky 10 pull that I just did. I got myself a Heinrich, really good. And then also got my Shadow Zanya. So I'm only really missing Lily here and Doki Doki. However, there's a lot of people that have been telling me that they have a lot of SSRs and they don't know where to start upgrading their characters. And what I want to tell them, and want to talk to you guys about, is to not make this massive mistake that's going to set you back weeks, if not a month or two in progression, if you actually end up doing this. And this all has to do with the prowess system. These little things right here, these perfect latices and the purple ones, for that matter, are probably the most important thing in this entire game. These things will hold your progression because there's certain levels that you get to in a fight where the only way to get a better score or a better clear would be to have your cooldowns reduced by 1. And if you can't get to that point because of the early game, you don't have access to all those extra modules and all the extra shells that reduce your cooldowns, then your only option is to just have a latice available, or several actually, because they take a few, at least 4, to get to the reduced cooldown one, which is usually the last one, to get over that hump. And it's actually very detrimental to your account if you don't manage this specific resource with the utmost care. And I want to put this out there for everyone, that if you are one of those players that just pulled a bunch of characters like I did, like for example, I have a bunch of SSR units, pretty much every SR unit in the game, just focus on your core team. And by that, focus on Leon, focus on Gary, and then pick one other SSR. For this account is probably going to be actually for this account now it changed a little bit. I didn't put any latices onto my Messiah. It was going to be Messiah for the most part. It was going to be Messiah, but then I pulled Mio after that, and then I kind of swapped over. I did put one latice or two latices into Mio because I want to get this freeze down to 3 turns, and this is actually going to be very good for my Doki Doki runs. So for me, it was going to be Mio. I just pulled Heinrich, so I may have to like do a little some with with Heinrich here. But for now, I'm just gonna have to stick to Mio and leave my Heinrich pretty much unskilled at all. Even though I have the latices to get 2 of them in there, I am going to leave him there because I don't want to over invest this early on, because I may need another character later on, like Leon, for example. I may have to max out Leon for the hyperlink charter that's actually getting you a lot of rewards, especially early in the game. So for now, I'm just going to focus on my Leon. I'm going to focus on my Gary, or my Gray, as I like to call him. And then I'm also going to be focusing on my Mio. And this is where all of my latices are going to go to, all these 3 characters, and not in every single skill. Guys, please read your SSR. If your SSR that you're going to pick is like, for example, Heinrich. I just got Heinrich, right? I read over his kit. His basic, this one, the S1, is probably one of the most important, because this one increases the dispelling rate to 50%. And then this one increases the duration of last words to 3 turns, making it easier to stack the crit rate debuffs, right? Or the crit damage debuffs as well. So this is probably his most important. And this, having also this AoE dispel, is also very important. But if I had to pick one of these, I would probably just pick this one if I had the limited amount of latices. Every character has that same dynamic, to where you really don't want to level up every single one of their skills. There's very few characters that you actually want to do that to. But please read your character, try to interpret what they want to do, and I'll try to make a video on every character and what skill to upgrade, if it's even worth to upgrade. I'll try to bring that video up. But please, for the love of God, read what your character does, read what your character is trying to achieve in combat, and then try to help it out with latices accordingly. If, for example, Mio, which is the one that I'm investing in, Her basic attack has a freeze, a single target freeze, and upgrading this is only going to increase multiplier, increase a 15% chance to freeze. Right now it's a 10% chance. From 10 to 15, that's not a lot. If I max it out, completely max it out, is a max of 25%. That is actually pretty laughable. You know, it's not that impactful for me to go ahead and upgrade it from 10 to 25. So I'm going to leave this as it is. I'll maybe get it all the way, if anything, I'll get it up to here. This first skill tree is kind of different because it does have 2 speed notes, but that's only applicable if you're going to use this character in PvP, in RTA and stuff like that. So right now in this early game, I don't really need these 2 speed notes, so I'm not even going to look this way, right? The second one, which is the one that I'm most interested in, let me go back. The second one, which is the one that I'm most interested in, is the AoE freeze, right? For Doki Doki, you're gonna have to spit out all the CCs, and having access to a 3-turn, because it's 4 turns now, 1 turn after I get this, having access to a 3-turn AoE freeze is going to be very, very impactful for the Doki Doki fight, as well as extra effect accuracy and the increased chance, increased chance to freeze to 40% on everyone. Right now, I think she used to start off at 35. Do increase it to 40. It's a little bit better. It's still not huge. I think it's a little worse, slightly worse than Kraken, but it's still very, very good. And if you have it every 3 turns with the combination of shells like Time Weave, not shells, the combination of modules like Time Weave and the shells, like Halloween, for example, you can probably get this every other turn and pretty much spam it, which is my goal for right now. So again, don't brick your account, because this right here, these latices are like, this is going to be the reason why you're going to be stuck for a few weeks. If you mismanage this resource right here, you will brick your account. Like, it's, you know, you won't brick it, but it's going to take you a long time to get back to a competitive point, or to get back to the same point that you already were, if that makes sense. For example, look at this bait and switch. Like, look at this bait and switch. Increase the crit damage boost of each last word stack by 30%. It's right now it's 28, right? Or 20. You increase it to 30. This one increases the block duration into 2 turns, and then this one reduces kill cooldown. These are very, very good, but they put the speed ones in here because they know that the more important one is over here. So notice that for example, for Mio, they have it on the S1, right? The S1 has the speed nodes, because the S1 does nothing for you. It's pretty much a waste, not waste, but it's kind of like a semi-waste of 3 latices. But in Heinrich, they moved the speed nodes, they moved them over to the S3 because the S3 is less important than the S1. And I'm not necessarily saying that the S3 is more important. I'm saying that the chance of dispelling is going to be increased here, and that's pretty much what his whole kit is centered around. If the enemies don't have any debuff or buffs to dispel, he's going to inflict last words. And getting the last words to 3 turns is probably the best way, or it's probably what his main goal is, to get the enemies with no buffs at all, and then inflict his last words debuff. So just got to make sure and be careful with what you're spending your latices on. It's such a huge deal that I decided to make a whole video out of it, because I have so many people asking me about where to invest, and that they pulled X and Y character, and they pulled 7 SSRs, double SSRs, and 1 multi, a lot of those. Congratulations, by the way. However, I would say be very, very careful where you put your latices. It's probably the most important resource in the entire game. I think next to the credits or the silver or the coins, I think those 2 are probably the most important resource you have in the game. So be extra careful when it comes to those things, specifically or especially the latices, because those and I'm going to show you something. Like, I did spend on the beta, so I have a lot of the rebate stuff. So if we go to the shop, and I bought a bunch of stuff from the shop, right? If you go to the shop, I bought all of this stuff, right? I have 1 latice that I was able to buy. There's a second latice that I can buy. That's already 2, right? There's 2 latices right there. That's it. Even as a spender, I only have access to 2 latices. I bought this one too because this was in the summon shop. So 3 latices that I'm able to purchase as somebody who has spent. So if it's only 3, and I'm hurting for latices, I have 2 left, and I've used like 3. So in total, there's like 8 that I have had access to. That's to say that if you're free to play or low spender, you're not going to be picking all of these Latices up. I'm actually inclined to pick this one up. I'm just waiting to see like what do I decide. I do have the vouchers for it. I didn't spend all my vouchers, so I may actually end up picking this Latice because it's actually very, very good value in my opinion. However, all this to say that if you're not a spender, right, you're gonna have to be even more careful. Like when it comes to this union shop, don't spend like until you get these three, which I'm gonna pick up right now. Until you get these perfect Latice fragments, don't buy anything else. Just buy the perfect Latice fragments. You are going to thank me in the future for it. Here, buy the perfect Latice first if you have enough, and then move on to this Latice. Buy it if you have enough. And then after that, you can do whatever you want. I'd say I'll take the shadow print after that. I'll take the purple shadow prints or the gold shadow prints. I think I'd say leave the summons for like the last. Like if you are just absolutely struggling for summons, then just do that. But I would probably just say pick up the two, the gold Latices and the purple Latices at least. Same thing with this shop. Pick up the gold Latice first. Save up for that. I know it says resets in 3 days. I don't know if I'm going to get enough in 3 days. Hopefully I do. Because I want to pick this one up. One last and final thing, if you did already misinvest or invest in a character that you're not sure that if you did the right thing or not, they do have what is called the, where is it? Is the Animus reconfigure, in which you could pick a character here and then you reset it to level 1 and you get all your resources back. So let's say you spent all of your perfect Latice on like Freya's S1, right? And you want to reset Freya to get those perfect Latice back. You could do that. They do have this for the next 6 days. You get up to 5 of them. The first one is free, and then the consecutive or the subsequent 4 after that, they're gonna charge you I think a few crystals or so. I don't know exactly how many crystals. I don't remember. I've only done my Leon on the beta. Don't reset Leon, guys. Don't do it. Just don't do it. But you do have this option if you feel like you misinvested or you invested in the wrong character. You have this option available up to 5 times. So make sure to take advantage of it if you actually made this mistake, so it's not too late for you. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about in today's video. I know it sounds very redundant and everybody's talking about the same thing, Latice, but they are very, very important. So the more videos, the more content out there telling you to be careful where you spend them, the better it is going to be for everybody. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you like this type of content? Put it in the comments. Until next time, guys. See ya.